a financial analyst, and she's the founder of Techavilly, an online hub for tech professionals. She holds a degree in mass communications from University of Jos, Nigeria, and a master's degree in business analytics from Texas A&M University. She's an instructor at Udemy. So if you're familiar with that platform where everybody goes to kind of upskill, she's one of the instructor on there. And she currently has 2 tech courses with over 100 students enrolled. She's highly skilled in Excel, R, Python, Tableau, financial modeling, IBM SPSS, among others. As you can see from Mariam's profile, she has transitioned career from mass communication to data analytics related area. So if anyone is on here today and you're wondering whether this is the right place for you because you don't have any tech background, I want you to sit down and relax because this is for all of us. Mariam, we're very thankful to have you back. We're ready for you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Adi and the team. And it's my pleasure to join this program one more time and impact lives. And that is the core of what we do at Techavilly, to impact lives. And permit me to quickly talk about this so I can give a background of why I am doing what I am doing. When I came to the US, I already had like 8 years experience from big manufacturing company in Nigeria. I actually worked with Nestle for over 8 years as a sales and marketing person. I was a brand manager. And then I moved to Indomie as the brand manager in Indomie for another 1 year, 8 months before coming to the US. I worked with different tools and I thought I knew so much at that time. But unfortunately for me, I was doing good. But then I asked myself one question: what I have right now, how far can it take me? Am I still going to be relevant in the job market in the next 5 years? And that gave me the reason to come and improve myself and then look at where I can continue to be relevant in the next 5-10 years. And that's what brought me to data analytics. So if you're here today and you're thinking that what you're doing is the best for now, please go back to the drawing board. Look at what is currently happening in the economy and in the world and see how you can improve yourself. So today I'm going to be talking about data analytics. Please, and I'm gonna be using Excel. Permit me to share my screen with you. So I have this slides. They are not so much. It's just to give a background to what we're going to be working on. I believe that we already have the data to work with. I might be doing some tweaking.
So we don't have the data set yet, but if you are on the course, I want you to go into the chat. On the chat box, you are going to see a couple of information there. One of them is the data set. Would like you to download that data set because that's what we'll be using today. Yes, the data set is in the chat box for everyone. Uchi had also added the social media platforms for all of it for Africa Accent STEM Hub. So please follow us in social media. Thank you.
All right. So I'm just going to be sharing these slides with you to give a brief introduction to what we're going to be working on, and so you can understand as we move ahead. So Excel is one of the most required tools in the workplace today. You know, like raw material, you have a cement, you want to build a house, you need something to mount your building on. And that's exactly what Excel does for most companies. Everyone that works with different organization, industry, whether hospitality, IT, sales, marketing, and whatever industry you currently work, you need Excel. And that's why I liken Excel to raw material that we use to build a house. And that's the reason why we're doing this training today. So I go to the pivot tables. We're going to be learning pivot tables and how to use Excel to build a dashboard, and also how to use what if analysis. There are different types of the what if analysis. I'm going to go into that as we proceed with the training. So why pivot table? You know, every business today deal with number. You know, no matter how serious or unserious the business is, they need data to work with. And data and pivot table comes really handy when it comes to analyzing your data and finding a quick solution to your problem when it comes to your numbers. And that's why pivot table is very important. So pivot table is a simple drag and drop tool, and it helps you become more efficient in what you do. And sometimes, I remember when I was still working as a salesperson, and I was dealing with a lot of numbers, and there are these young guys in supply chain. Give them the data to work with, and we are still struggling with how to fix the numbers. Those guys had already finished. They were using pivot table to do all of this, and they were like magicians. So pivot table helps you work efficiently, no matter the volume of data you have. With pivot table, you can work, you know, seamlessly. You're going to see how this plays out. So here are 5 reasons why you should learn pivot table. The first one is that you can analyze huge amount of data with few clicks. The next one is that it allows you to summarize data in a condensed format with the extra added functionality of a cross tabular summary. You will see how that works shortly. The next one is that it allows you to easily rearrange and display parts of the data set in multiple ways. You can have a single data set and you can rearrange, and I'm going to show you how that plays out shortly. You can rearrange anyhow you want. So the first one is the ability to see patterns and trend in your data set. And finally, it increases the efficiency and accuracy of your analysis. When you use pivot table, your analysis is on point. And you can also use conditional formatting to give strength and muzzle to your analysis when you're using pivot table. We are going to do all of that in a minute. So this is the data set we're going to be working with. I assume we all have that. And we have some questions to answer. I might be going back and forth with that. So I'm going to go to my data sheet. Let me share that with you very quickly. Just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to share that. I'm picking new share. So, right. So this is, can you all see this right now? Okay. I assume we're seeing it. So this is the data set we're going to be working with. I'm just trying to move this out. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to move this out of my view. Yeah. So this is the data set we're going to be working with today. This company has the list of their employees. And we have the male and the female, their current salaries, and the number of years, their experience, you know, and then the role. We have different roles, as we can see here, and we have different states in America that they currently work. So we have the different roles, we have the gender, we have their salaries and their year of experience. So we're going to go into data analysis with this. We want to analyze some things, and I have some questions. And the first question is, which state pays the highest salary? Before we go there, I want to assume that we all have, we've installed Excel on our computer right now. If you have not, I don't know, Dr. Adi, permit me to quickly show how to install Excel on your computer.
Okay, I already have Excel installed.
Okay, so I can go ahead with the training, right?
Yeah, I do have it installed, so I don't think you can use my computer. Can you use my computer if I have it installed?
I just want to show people how to install.
Okay, sure.
It's a very short video that I have that shows them how to, if they don't have Excel, You know, in America, you have to pay to get Excel, but I don't know how they do it in Nigeria, but I just want to show them how they can easily install Excel. I have that.
We hope, is there anyone on here who doesn't have Excel installed? Because I believe our participants are from different places around the world. So
Yeah. That's
anybody who needs help, can you help us put that in the comment section so we know whether we need to do that or skip it?
yeah. So I just
I
want to
think
be
we
sure.
all have, somebody said, I think, somebody said, I think most people have Excel
Okay,
installed.
it's fine. We can just go ahead with
Yeah,
this.
because if you don't have Excel installed, I don't understand what you've been using to kind of do anything, right?
Okay, so can you still see my data set?
Yes.
Okay, so if you want to use pivot table, the first thing you're going to do,
Oh, they said the data set is locked. Uchi, do you want to unlock the data set? Sorry.
except they don't want to walk as we walk, but I think it's better they do.
It's better they do what?
Better they walk alongside with us. I think it helps a whole lot.
Would you say we should kind of help with the Excel installation? What would you suggest?
Not that. I mean the data set.
Yes. Uchi, can you unlock the data, please? Are you there, Uchi?
Yeah, please, you need to, for
You
those that
just
don't have access, when you click on the data set, click on file and download. So you need to download the data set to your computer. It should be open.
yeah.
So
Mimi,
click
can you
on
show
file
them? Can
and
you show them where to download on the file? I can do that quickly if it's okay.
yeah, for sure, yeah.
Okay, so people said they have it. Please go to file under in that Google Drive. The first area you'll see under Africa Acts data set, pivot 2 is file. Under file, you see new, open, import, make a copy, email as attachment, and then you see download. And there are different formats you can download in. Mariam, do you prefer .xlsx or do you prefer CSV?
Anyone that works for them, I think no, they should do away with CSV. They should do XLS.
Okay, please download this data in XLSX. Thank you.
Okay, so let me know when I should go ahead. Can I go on?
I think so. Is there anyone we need to wait for? All right, I think we can move on.
Okay, so when you go to the sheet, we have different tabs on the Excel sheet. I don't think I need to go ahead and take Excel from the beginning, so I'm just gonna go straight to pivot tables. So this is the home tab. You can see the home tab right here, and you see the insert tab and the rest of the tabs. We're gonna go to the insert tab, click on that. Once you click on that, you see pivot table, recommended pivot tables. Just click on pivot table. Right, it's gonna select your data for you. Make sure it select the data that you want to use and click on, okay, you're gonna see some callouts. I want to use the new sheet so that we can always refer back to the data, the original data set, and we don't confuse ourselves. So it's going to ask you if you want to use the existing worksheet, which I don't want to do. So I want to do the new worksheet. So I'm going to click on that and click OK. Once you do that, it takes you to the pivot table interface. You're going to see the pivot table fields at the right side of your screen, and then you see another small box at the other side. That's where the data is going to be showing right here. You can see my mouse moving. This is where the data is going to be showing. Anything we do with the pivot table fields, You're going to be seeing the data at the left side of your screen right here. So we're going to be working with the different questions that we have. And remember, we have this data source right here. And this is so difficult to analyze. We're just seeing all this, but you can't work on any data if you don't have questions to answer. There's always a problem to solve before you go to the data to work with. So we have this data, they just dump this on your table, they put it on your head. Here it is, Mariam, just do whatever you like with it. But then a problem arises and they want to see, okay, we have all these people working for us all over the country. Where do you think we have the highest salary in this whole state? So that's the first question we're going to solve. Which state pays the highest salary? So we're gonna go back to pivot tables. And the first thing, remember I said pivot table is a drag and drop tool. So we're gonna pick from the pivot fields right now. The first thing we will do is to pick the current salary. Pick the current salary right here, click on that, and then automatically it drops. So, and when it drops to the value field, as you can see right here. And then we go to the state, because we said which state pays the highest salary, so it gives us the state. I'm gonna increase this so that we see properly. This is too tiny. Right, so we can see that we have cumulative salaries and we have count of states. So we're gonna rework this, we rearrange this, right? So we take states to the rows, we can see right now. If you see what I did, the moment you click on the field that you want to analyze, it just drops it anywhere. So it behoves of you to rearrange to see what exactly you're looking for. So we now see where all the salaries are. I'm gonna do a little tweaking, so just watch me. And I'm gonna highlight all of them. I wanna put commas right here. And then I go to the tab and then I reduce the decimal. So we have that. If you wanna put currency, because we're talking about salary, so go to Control-1 on your computer, and this box is gonna pop up. Scroll down to currency, and where we have symbol, select that. I don't want to see decimal, so I'm going to take the decimal away, and then you click OK. So it's going to give you, I think I forgot to highlight. Currency, symbol, dollars, and then click OK. Right, so we have dollar sign in front of the amount. So we want to see which state pays the highest salary. I'm going to use conditional formatting for this. Watch me. So I highlight all the numbers. Remember, don't put the total, because if you pick the total, it's going to give you something confusing. So just highlight the data you want to check, you want to format. So go to conditional formatting. Can you see conditional formatting right here? Click on that, and I'm going to use color scale. So I'm going to pick color scale, and this is what you have. With this, it makes your analysis a whole better. You can see. So right now, it's giving me very high salary because it's giving me total sum. Like if you see Alabama, we have $501,000. If you go to the raw data, we don't have any amount like that. The highest we had in the data, it's so difficult to see. So it's about 160 or thereabouts. So what this did, it gave me the sum of everybody in Alabama. So I'm going to pick average. So watch me. So go to that data, to the cell, right click, and go to summarize values and select average. So that gave me.
I think we need to slow down a bit. I'm sort of lost right now.
Okay, so where do I go?
We're getting some people saying that somebody said, I'm lost I'm stuck at creating pivot table.
Okay, so
Is it possible to redo everything, or it's too long back?
No, I can very well. I'm just gonna delete what we have done. Oh, I take it back. Okay, it's okay. Because I don't want anyone to be confused. So it's easy to do. I'm just gonna, okay, so this is the data. Let me start out. I'm gonna slow down. Okay, slow down. So you go to insert right here. Click on that. Once you click on insert, you see some buttons show up. You don't need all of these for now. We're still gonna get to all of that. But for now, you need the pivot table. You want to create pivot table. Click on that. Once you do that, a box is gonna pop up. A create pivot table box is gonna pop up. So once that comes up, where you have the table range, you need to select the data you want to analyze. So already my data is highlighted, but make sure yours is highlighted if you have not done so. So mine is highlighted. How do you know that your data is highlighted? You see a green line dancing around the data as seen right here. So once that shows up, I want to create in the new worksheet. I was able to delete what we did because I used a new worksheet. So if I use existing worksheet, that means I'm going to be deleting. If I have to delete or go back, I'm going to be altering the raw data that I use. So because I use a new worksheet right here, can you see that? So yeah, this one right here. And then you click OK. So once you click OK, it's going to move the pivot sheet to a new sheet. So whatever you have, your raw data is still intact. So click OK with that. And then once you do that, it takes you to the pivot table interface. This is where all your analysis is going to be happening. Right. So this is done right now. So we have the pivot table fields at the right side of your computer, as you can see right here. And this pivot table field has 4 different fields. We have the filter, we have the columns, we have the rows, and we have the values. In the filter section, if you put any data in the filter, it's going to give you a filter button. I will show you how this works. And you can filter what you want, remove some. Just if you want to see, if you want to select a particular data out of the very large data, and you don't want every other thing to show up, you can filter it. Only what you want to see is going to show. In the column section, it's going to arrange your data in columns like this. And in the row, sorry, in the columns go down like this. And in the rows go like this. You know, there's vertical and horizontal. So, and the values, in the values section, you're going to have either count, sum, average, and all that, which is what I was doing earlier. So I said, this data, we want to use this data to answer some questions like this. We have like 7 questions or 5 questions. I think I added 2 more questions to it after I sent it to the organizer of this event. So we want to find out which state pays the highest salary according to that data. Maybe the company wants to do something and they want to see, okay, where's our money going and why are they paying so much? It could be as a result of a lot of things, maybe cost of living in that place, or, you know, yeah, I think that's probably the thing. Most times it's cost of living. So they want to know which state pays the highest. So you go to the pivot field, and because we're talking about states, you drop that, click on that. Once you click on that, it's going to automatically drop it anywhere. So it's not left for you to rearrange, drag it, take it out, you know, and put it where you want it to be. So we said we go to current salary. Remember the question says that which state pays the highest salary? So what this one did, it just dropped the state in the value field and the salary into the value field. But I'm going to increase the font right here because it's too tiny. That's what I did earlier. So I just went back to Home tab and I went to the font and I started clicking. you can also use the number, but for me, I like using the up and down arrow, the increase and decrease arrow. It helps me a whole lot. So, but if you don't want to, you can use this. And if you want to use the drop down, you can select any of the numbers like so. So this is where we are. Right. So this
I wanted to check whether everyone is following.
okay.
I hope everyone is following. I hope you are where Mariam is right now. Okay, great. We can move on.
I need to put it.
Somebody said, honestly, no.
Okay.
We have an honestly no. No. Where exactly are you lost? What do we do? Somebody is still not following.
Okay, so if I know where the person is, I can go back and fix it. Okay, let me read the comments.
Yeah, somebody said that I tried to click on the state on the pivot table. Please help us look at what this person.
Okay, so she wants to bring the state to the page. Just click, go to the
our all-in-one marketing platform.
If you go to Excel, are we there? So go to the fields, click on the state. I'm going to unclick right now. So I took it away. So I'm going to click on state. If you click on state, it's going to automatically drop it in value because it's just a drag and drop tool. So, and after that, you go to current salary and that drops it in value also. Did you get that? So if you look at that, I'm going to take this away. Sorry, the comment section is blocking my screen. Okay, I got it. Is the person clear now how we got that? It's very easy. The moment we came to the pivot table interface, you're going to see the pivot field at the right side of your computer. The other side is going to be where all the analysis will be happening.
The person is clear. The person said cleared.
Good, good. Sorry, I don't have to be going to the comments and coming back, so I don't distract myself. Okay, so this is where we are. And this is not explicit enough. So we're just going to take the state to the row section. So did you get that? I only picked the sales from the value box right here, and I dropped it in the sales section, and it gave me this table. So I now said, because we don't currently have commas here, I'm going to put commas so we know exactly how much it is, and I put $sign. There are two ways to do this. You can either come to the tabs, you pick it here. If you want to pick the $sign, you can pick it here. Or if you want to pick the comma, you can pick here. But I always advise that you use the other formats. Control-1 on your computer. Just press Control-1 together. And then it brings this box. And then scroll down to currency. Make sure you highlight. I did not highlight the, okay, make sure you highlight. Do not pick the total if you want to do conditional formatting. But here, let's pick it, Control-1. And then you go to currency. I'm going to take away the decimal. So I took it to 0. And then I pick the $sign. There are other currencies here, depending on what you want to use. But because we're currently using $sign, I'm going to pick that. And then I click OK. So we have the $sign in front of the data right now. So it's looking like money. right now. So we said to answer the question, how many, which state has the highest salary? So I said we're going to use conditional formatting. Highlight that again. Now go to your tabs. The tabs are on top of your sheet, the worksheet. Go to conditional formatting, click on that. You'll see a drop down. All these are instructions that we might still use as we go ahead so that you understand how this works. But for now, because we want to find out highest to lowest, we are using color scale. So select color scales, and then we have that. Do we understand how we got here now? Can I go on, Dr. Adi? Dr. Adi, can I go on?
I was speaking to myself, sorry. Most people said go on.
Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. So right now we have cumulative, because if you go back to the data source, there is no $500,000 salary. So what this did is to sum up all these numbers that we have. That's what this did. So we're going to go back to values and change that to average salary, because with average, you have an idea of what it is. Average is always good. You know, when you're looking at a lot of numbers, it gives you an average amount or an average number, you know, instead of picking the highest or the lowest. So click on the first one, highlight that, right click on the first one and go to summarize by values. Currently is on sum. That's why you see this, this sum ticked. So if you want to know the count, you pick that, but that's not what we are working on. We want to see the average right now. So from that average, we see the salaries, you know, that each employee or in that state collects or earn. Now, what's the work of these color shades? The color shade indicates that the green is the highest. The deepest green is the highest. The next deep green is it's after the deepest, the highest, and it goes on and on and on and on and on like that. And the orange is the median. Anyone you see orange is the median salary. If the orange is beginning to change to a lighter orange or lighter red, then it's no more median. And the red one is the lowest. So we can see from here that Michigan has the lowest salary here. You can see right here. Michigan has the lowest salary, and the highest salary is in Chicago. We can see that from here because it's the deepest. And if I'm going to put this in a chart, and these charts are the ones that we're going to use to create the dashboard. So, and each time we work on this chart, we keep it aside, and then we come back to create our dashboard right here. This is still a raw sheet, and we're going to clean it up and create our dashboard with that. So the next thing we're going to do to create the dashboard for this is to go to the tab, go to data. I'm just trying to take this, it's so distracting. Okay.
I think we need two screens. Each person probably needs two screens for this. I finally got myself a second screen.
Oh, okay. So we go to insert, sorry. Okay, so click on that. We're on pivot table right now. So I want to put this in, I want to put it in the graph so that we can use the graph to create our dashboard. So go to pivot table analyze on top of your sheet, where you have the home tab, insert, draw, page layout, blah, 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 to the right. You will see pivot table analyze. Click on that. Once you click on that, you're going to see pivot charts towards the end of your screen right here. You can see my mouse dancing around. So this is the pivot chart. So we're going to click on that. So we have our chart. but I don't like this chart. So I'm gonna work on this chart and clean it up. So I'm gonna click on the line in between that chart, like this. Once you click on that, you're gonna see some blue dots at the edge of each line. Delete that away. I'm trying to clean up this. So I'm gonna rename this to highest salary. Sorry. State with highest salary. Okay. So
They said they would like to, if it's possible, to make the Excel sheet a little larger.
okay, I'm just gonna increase it. Is it okay that way? Or I take it more?
I think it's not bad.
Okay.
I am just wondering if we can go back to how we made the chart.
Okay.
The
So
graph.
I'm gonna take that chart away right now. And I click on the data. I go to Home tab, click on Home tab, sorry. And once you click on Pivot Table, it's definitely going to bring the pivot chart analyze. And then you can see right here, click on that. Once you click on that, still on your tab above your sheet right here, go towards the right. You will see pivot chart. Click on that. Once you click on that, it's automatically going to create your chart for you. You can enlarge it. Remember, anytime you want to enlarge anything, please don't drag from the side. If you drag from the side, you might distort. But in this case, I think it looks okay dragging from the side, depending on what we want to do with the chart. So I'm going to take it back, but it's always advisable to draw from the edge. So I'm going to take this line away. I don't want this grid line inside the graph. I want to clean it up because we're going to use this to create our dashboard. So I'm going to delete that. Did we get that? And then I want to rename this tab to state with the highest salary. So we have that. I don't need this grid too. I'm going to take this away to make it cleaner. And then I think I want to change this to a bar, I change the orientation of this bar to another one. So right click on any of the charts and you're going to see change chart type. These are the options. So I want to change this to column. So I'm going to select column and then I have that. I think I don't like the size of this. So I want to increase the size of this chart. It's too tiny for my liking. So I'm just going to increase it. I want to increase the width a little bit. Okay, so we have this done. And I might want to change the colors also. Okay. Right, so I'm gonna leave this.
People are looking for help with the chat.
Okay, where should I go? The reason why I don't really go to the comment because I don't want to get distracted.
That's fine. That's why I'm reading them out before we go too far.
So where do they need help?
Somebody said go back to chart style. Somebody said go back to chart creation.
Okay. Okay. So this is where I started tampering with the charts. I think I like this. The other style makes it too tiny actually. So what I did, I clicked on one of the bars, I right clicked, and then I go straight to the chart type, and various options came up, and I went to column, and then I selected column. That's what I did. And then if I want to change this chart type, the size, I actually wanted to change the size initially. So okay, so this is where we start changing the, I think it's going to be a whole lot of, uh-oh, I don't want it to be that big. Did we get that, guys? Are we good?
I think so.
Okay, we're good.
Anyone still have problems with how the chat was created or anything else regarding the chat? Somebody has problem with how the chat was created.
Okay, so what I did, I went to insert, and automatically, if you go to pivot table, click on the data in the pivot table. Let me bring this down. Okay, if you go to pivot table, just click on any of the data. You will see pivot table analyze on top of your sheet. Click on that. If you click on that, it's going to bring this pivot charts right here. You can see my mouse dancing around. Click on that. Once you click on that, it's going to automatically create your data, your graph. Then you can start changing the style just the way we did. Did anyone know how we changed the color? Or should I go back to that?
I think that's, I don't know. I think it's fine.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we can also decide to add a data label to it if we want, but if we don't, but if we want to, we can add data label right here. And what I'm going to do right now is I want to sort this from highest to smallest. So click on that, right click on that, sort, and pick from largest to smallest. So we can see right now that we can see the largest followed by, next. I actually don't know, this should, okay. So let me resort. Okay. Right. So we're good. We're good now. We can see we sorted from largest to smallest in descending order. You can actually change which one you want. Is it ascending order or descending order? So we have this. So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to the next question right now. You can see right here, the data changed from up also. You see the highest on top. I was trying to explain the color grid the last time, that you will see the deepest green is the highest, followed by the next and the next and the next and the next. So I'm going to take this color away. So we go to the next question, which says, which role is the highest paid? Remember, the first one we did is the state. That's why we have Michigan, New Jersey, Arizona, Alabama, and the rest of the states. Now we want to see which state has the, which role is highest paid. So we're talking about the role, we have the data analyst and the rest of them. So we go back to pivot tables. We're going to close this. And then we go back to pivot tables. And it should actually take me back without. Okay, it should actually take me back to pivot table without having to create a new one. But we're going to leave that sheet. Let me rename that as state so that it doesn't confuse us when we are creating our dashboard. So we go back to insert, pivot table, create new sheet, and then we have that. So we have another sheet. Remember the first one we did, this is it. Okay. So this is what I was looking for. It actually came back in that same. So I was looking for this box. Let me see if I can do that same thing. So we have all the graph in one place. But don't worry, let me go back to this so we have them in separate sheets. So we're looking for the highest paid. We look at the row, click on row. Let me increase this also. Right. And then we look at the current salary. So it's similar to what we did earlier. It's just that this one is row, the other one is state. This is state and this is row. We're going to be using different charts for all of them. So we're going to do the same thing we did with the other one. And currency, I take away the decimal and then I click OK. So I'm going to do conditional formatting.
Said that the control one doesn't work for them. That what are the other options? And I'm explaining that they can just click on that general and currency.
Yeah, so this is another option. If that doesn't work for you, come to this tab right here and you can see general numbers and the rest of them. You can change to percentage, you can change to whatever you want to. This is the currency right here. And yes, you can use this option if control one does not work for you. And I already have it as shortcut on my computer, so I just click on it. And then we're good. You can change the computer. Then if you want to see other currencies, just that, okay, this doesn't give more options like the other one. You just pick the most used. Apparently, these are the currencies that I use often on my computer. So I'm going to condition, I'm going to do conditional formatting with this also. And I'm going to use the same thing we did to reduce confusion. And I'm going to, before I go to the pivot chart, I want to sort this number right now. I go to sort and I go to the largest, from largest to smallest. So it did the same, exactly the same thing for us. The reason why I like using control one is because it doesn't take the currency too far from the number, just like this one now. Before I changed it, I used this one and the dollar sign came at the edge, towards the edge here, and that's not what I want. So that's why I prefer the control one option, but that's fine. Whatever works for you is good. So this is it, we have the highest, and also this is a cumulative. So I'm going to change this to average also. Go to summarize value and select average. Right. We can see maximum if we want to see maximum, you know. Right. So we can, I use maximum, I didn't use average this time. So we see that the finance coordinator has the highest salary. And we're not talking about the state here. We can actually combine all of them, but because we want to make a dashboard with all these charts that we are making, that's why I'm using this. Right, but I'm not sure I want to use this maximum. It's not giving us a clearer picture. Let's use average. Right. So we see that the average salary of a finance coordinator is $106,000. And we can see the next person is head of operations. So we can also filter this. If I drop the row, if I drop the salary in the filter box, let me drop the row in the filter box. Okay, so. I hope I'm not confusing you guys.
I'm wondering if we can redo the area where we changed the color scaling.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, no problem. I'll put the row back. Yeah. I'm just gonna take everything out again. It doesn't take much time. Yeah, we're here. So what I did, I'm gonna use this. So I like all of them. Remember I said you can use this other option, but I don't like it because it takes the currency to the extreme end. That's why I don't like using that. So go to currency and I click OK. Yeah, select all of that. Go to conditional formatting. And from the options in the drop-down button, go to color scale. These are various options you can select from. But I like using the green, the yellow, and the red to separate the highest to the, from the median, from the lowest. That is why I use that. So you can select any of them. So this is where we got the color scale. And I also did something, I changed it to average. So I right-clicked and I go to summarize by value. It was at sum. It summed all the accountants in the data. If you go to the data source, you can see that we have different accountants. And this is 58 and 350. So what he did, he multiplied this by 3, 58 by 3, and added all of them together here. So that's why we have this number for accountants. But we are gonna do average. So I go to summarize by value and I pick average. So it gives average salary of an accountant in that company. What he did, he added all of them, divided by 3, and gave us the average. That's how to get the average. So I'm also going to sort from highest to lowest now, because if you can see, it's not arranged now. Take a good look at this color scale. By the time we do this, we sort it, it's going to separate it from highest to median to lowest. So watch me do that. I'm going to click on that and I go to sort and I go to largest to smallest. And then, okay, I'm going to change this color scale because this is giving me a wrong, I think I use another color scale. Color scale, pick the first one. I picked the second one. You can see here, so this second one is showing that the red is the highest. This first one is showing that the green is the highest. So I picked the second one instead of the first one. So be careful when you're selecting your color scale. So I go back and pick that. So I have the right one now. So we can see that the average salary of a finance coordinator is $106,000, regardless of where the person is now. This is looking at company overview, not state overview. So for the company, let's say XYZ company or Mariam company pays a finance coordinator an average of $106,000 from the data we are given. Remember, we are working on the data that we are given. We're not looking at what is happening because that data was generated just for this training. So just focus on this training and understand how things work. Then you can apply it when you go out. So we see that for this company, anyone that wants to earn more than $100,000 must be a finance coordinator. So an average IT person in that company earns $62,000. So we're still going to look at another question that says which state pays a particular person more than another state, because I can pick an IT manager, and in California, an IT manager in California will be any more than an IT manager in Texas. So that's another analysis. You can see you can do anything. One single data, you can do a whole lot with one data. Dr. Adeyemi might sit at the other end and look at one data and see something that I am not seeing, just looking at the data and manipulating the data and tweaking it, generating different insights from one single data. So I'm going to create a chart just like we did here, but I'm going to use a different chart for this, right? So I go to pivot table, analyze, and I pick the chart. by default, it's going to give you a bar chart. So it's not left for you to choose what you want. So I'm going to do the same thing we did earlier. Wow, we're going so fast already. Okay, so I'm going to change this to highest paid row. Let me know if I'm too fast. Okay, so we can see. You can also increase this if you want to. You can drag it. And you can change the font color, whatever you want to do with that. Okay, so I'm going to change, I'll take this away also. Yeah, I'm going to change this graph to something else. Change type. And okay, there's something I'm quickly going to show you guys right now. Okay, so this is what I want to show you. So if you want to change the graph in pivot table, it's not going to let you do that. So you have to rearrange your data. You take your data out of the pivot table. Let's quickly do that because that's what we're going to do for the rest of the charts here. So what you're going to do to get another chart type, because by default it's going to give you bar chart. So I'm going to bring out the data from here, copy the data out and put it outside. And I copy the data also, the row, I copied the row earlier and I'm copying the data right now and I paste it. Let me take this out. Okay. So make sure you use value, paste as values. If you paste, okay, so I'm gonna change that. If you just do control paste, it's gonna paste the formula. So you paste as values so that it doesn't copy the formula. Remember, we cannot change the data type because it's in the pivot table. So we are taking it out of the pivot table to be able to create another chart type. Let me show you what I'm doing currently. I wanted to change the chart type. I wanted to use hierarchical. Okay, let me use this. And this box popped up that I cannot use another chart type except I bring out the data from the pivot table, which is what I was trying to do. So I hope we are still together. Okay, so I'm going to take up the decimal. Right, so we can now create trying to okay, so I didn't pick this. I saw an extra data, so I was wondering where that came from. So yeah, so I didn't pick that earlier. So I'm going to create the data right now. And I go to insert and I go to the data. So I want to use this. This is what I want to use. Right. So we have that created right now. So we have a different chart from what we had earlier. So I'm going to delete this. And we're going to use this because I really want I'm going to take this away because it's already in the chat. Are we still together? Please let me know if I'm too fast.
Is everything going well, guys? We want your feedback. So we know if this pivot table is what you're wow, we want to make sure that this time you're spending with us, that there's something you're going to get out of it. So please let us know how you're feeling. We will not be able to go over it again, unfortunately. If you need any repeat, you may have to, I've sent out the YouTube link. This webinar is live streaming on YouTube, and you can watch this later on your own as well, as many times as you want. There are so many things we plan to cover today. So we've already spent over an hour. So we want to make sure that we have time for the plan. So please utilize the YouTube link to rewatch this on your own. Thank you.
Yeah, so we already have this. So we have number 2. The first question we answered was role and was state, and this is role. So I'm going to keep that because we're going to use this too quickly. I won't spend too much on the dashboard, but that's fine. So I put role on that, and we are good. Okay, so we go to the next question that says, which gender has the highest salary? So I go back to the data source, and I'm going to take this out. I go back to pivot table because I'm trying to create different sheets for different data that we're creating. Okay, so we have that. We repeat what we did earlier. This is just what happens if you have to create a dashboard or you're answering different questions. So, yep. So we want to know the role that has the highest salary, the gender, sorry. So the first one, we talked about the state. The second one, we talked about the role. And now we are talking about gender. So we pick the highest salary. So we rearrange that. We bring the gender. Right, so we're going to use the same thing, average. So we see that the male has higher salary than the female. So I'm going to go to pivot table to quickly create the chart for that because the data is not much. So I'm just going to change it to bar chart, pie chart, sorry. So that solves it. We're not spending time on this because it's not much. Okay, so that's number 3. Let me see if I can change the chart type, the design type. Okay. So we go to the next question. Let me change this to gender. So we go to the next question. I'm trying to rush this. And that says, yeah. Want to find out the experience. Is salary based on experience? You know, in some cases, if you have 8 years experience, you earn more than someone that has 2 years experience and all that. So it's just the same thing that we are doing over and over and over again. It's just for you to be able to calculate, to analyze the data. If you want to tweak it, just the way we have been tweaking, the format and all that. So I go back, do the same thing we've been doing, create another one, increase the fonts. Okay, so we just pick salary and role. I'm gonna take this off right now. Okay, so salary and experience. So those are the two we need right now. I'm going to take, yeah. So I brought the salary to the row section so you can see the split. So okay, I'm going to add one more value to this. I'm going to put the row. Okay, so I said I was going to talk about the filter before. So in this filter section, you see this arrow, the down arrow. Click on that down arrow. I'm going to deselect all of them. So let's say I want to pick only accountant. So you're going to see only what you want to see. So we see accountant. If you want to see the number, okay, so we see that accountant average, okay, this is the sum, 3 years, and the salary is definitely different. And remember, I was saying earlier that your salary sometimes is based on where you're located. Somebody in Lagos working as an accountant might be earning more than somebody living in maybe Ibadan or Oshun or Ede as an accountant. So sometimes is a factor of the cost of living of where you're living. You know, that's another factor. So I'm going to remove the filter and we can see all this. So I'm going to do the same conditional formatting. Please let me know if you're not getting it or it's confusing so I can quickly.
I think you're okay.
Well, okay. I'm also trying to rush so we can move to what if analysis. So from here we can see, I'm going to change the conditional formatting and I'm going to pick top 10 so that we reduce this long list. So if you go to conditional formatting, right here, and then I'm going to select greater than row. So here we're trying to set the row. So we're going to format cell only if the value is greater than, if it's greater than 3 years. So remember I use this pink color to select only salaries greater than 3 years. And I'm going to sort that also. So you can see this. So if I want to take this out, I don't need all this. In fact, this answers the question. This answers the question. Let me change this color. I don't like this pink. So you can actually change this color from here. I'm going to use green. Sorry, I was supposed to highlight all of them. Oh, sorry, I'm just taking my time with this. I just want us to get it. Oh, sorry. Right, so we got it now. I changed that pink to green. So we can see that sometimes the salary is based on a year of experience. You can see those with the highest year of experience earn more than the rest of them. I'm just looking at the filter to understand what is there. You can change the filter to ascending order if you want. Right. So that takes off the 12 years. It's still the same. I was just playing with the filter. So we can see that answers the question for this one, but I want to create a chart And because this is so long, I'm going to tweak this. Except we use something else, we use another chart, but let's see what works. So this is exactly what I was talking about, but we can change this to another chart type. Yeah, I think this works because it gives a picture of what we are looking for. Yeah, this works. You can see that people who have better or larger years of experience, they earn more. And this data shows that for us. Okay. I'm rounding this up very briefly. So I'm just going to solve one more question, which is which city pays IT manager the most? So this is where the filter comes to play. Okay.
Apart from a bad chat, are there other chats that you would recommend that we add to our portfolio that can kind of be more fancy than a bad chat?
Okay, yeah, sure. So we can select change chart type. Let's use line. Okay, so this doesn't look good. Okay, I think this looks better, Dr. Adi.
Yeah, that will work. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna format the background of that. Okay, so this works for this one. And
yeah, I'm wondering if we have time to answer all the questions
we have
for.
questions. Whoa.
Oh, no, I mean for the pivot tables. I'm wondering if we should proceed to maybe the if chat or after this question, because we have a couple of things to do and it's already halfway. We're already halfway into the class.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, that's fine. We can just use the 4. I think we have 4 charts now. So we can use this 4 to create the dashboard, or we go straight to if that's okay by you.
Yeah, I think that's fine by me.
Okay, so let's go straight to the
I hope it's been clear to people how to create these different chats from the different, I think 4 times now we've done, how do you kind of manipulate your pivot table? I hope that has provided a good understanding to you as to how can you query your different data? What are the different things that you can do with your data? It shouldn't just be one thing. Like, how can you kind of create queries and how do you work through each of those queries? We hope this has helped you with that clarification.
Okay, so if you want to create a dashboard using Excel, and this is a new sheet that we created, I'm going to take these grid lines away from here. So how to create this, just highlight everything on that sheet, go to view. Once you get to view, go to show and just uncheck the grid lines, and then we can start doing what we want to do. And I'm going to go back to home and change the fill color to something maybe better. I don't know, let me just select this color. And yeah, and I'm going to insert the heading. Right, so I'm just trying to put a heading for the dashboard. It's an easy way to create a dashboard. Right. So I'm going to take the fill away, no fill, and change that to white. And I take off the line, no line. Trying to see where the line is hidden. Okay. I'll come back to this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start picking the charts one after the other, and then we clean the charts up. So we copy that, we take it to the dashboard and paste it right here. And then you can increase this font. And take away the fill. Change this to white also. And then the grid, we change that to white also so it's visible. So we go ahead and pick the next one. And paste that, we paste that also. Right. And then we reduce it a little bit to fit in. So we do that with the other charts also, and we make sure that they all align and sit properly. And gender, we pick that also. And then we go ahead and paste it right here also. You can do Control-C, Control-P to make it fast so you don't waste time. And then I take up the fill, no fill. And then do the same thing that I did with the rest of the titles. And because I need this grid right here. Right, and I do that with the last one, this one right here. And I paste that also. I take away the fill, no fill, and then I change that to white also, increase the font, and change this axis also to white, and this one too to white. And then I reduce it to make it fit like that. Okay.
On the bar chart, the labeling is still not white. Do we want to change that to white?
This one?
Yes.
Okay. Just to show us how this is done. Come on, pivots. Right, so if you want to add slicer to this, the role of slicer is to help you, play with your dashboard. Come on. is to help you play with your dashboard, even as you are on the same page. Pivot is giving me a hold. Okay, I'm gonna take that off. Thank you. Right, so this is a very simple dashboard, and just trying to format that. Okay. So if you want to add slicer to your dashboard, go to Insert. When you get to Insert, select your data. The slicer is going to show. So you add slicer to it and select what you want to show in the slicer. I want to show the state and I want to show the salary. And then I click OK with that. And then I have the slicer. And I'm going to create the slicer at the bottom. So I'll bring the slicer to the bottom, like so. And then I want to create another slicer for this one. I go back to Insert, and I pick gender, and then I click OK with that. So I need to connect it. So I need to connect this to make them work, because once you click on it, it's going to show you different numbers. So I'm going to have to connect report connection, and I add it to, this is the salary by state. So I add it to state and I click OK for that. And this one too, I right click, I go to report connection, and then I add it to state also, I click OK. So if you go to, I wish I can put it at the side. Okay, let me bring it to the side here. Okay, so we have the slicer there. So the role of the slicer is to help you filter. And as you click on the filter, it's going to change, move. Okay, yeah. So I need to connect all of them together. Report connection, so I'm going to connect all of them together and click OK, report connection. So I'm going to connect all of them so they all work together. Yeah, so it's working now. So what that slicer is doing right now, because I selected only 3 states, you can see. So you take off any state you don't want to see. So this is Alabama. If you want to compare 2 states together, so let's say I pick Alabama and Alaska. Okay, so I want to compare Alabama, Arizona, and Michigan together. Right, so you can see them. And the salary, you can see the salary of Alabama, of Michigan and Alabama here. Okay, so I connected this. This is by experience, and I'm going to have to connect all of them together. This is where the work is. If you don't connect it, it's not going to work. They're not going to work together. So you need to connect all of them. So I have not yet put slicer here. So you have to put slicer on all of them. All of them. Okay. I want us to go to what if. So we're almost done with this, actually.
I'm just thrilled and fascinated by what is possible in Excel. I've used Excel since only God knows, maybe for almost 20 years, and I have not learned this part of it. So I'm, especially if you're on a call today, you are a researcher, you work in a company, you are a scientist, you are a finance person, whoever you are, I believe you're a business owner. I believe this could be a tool that is useful for you, whether you're doing your data analysis on your scientific findings, or you're doing something different. Maybe you're analyzing how your audience are responding to your post, or you're trying to manage your business. We believe that this is the kind of tool you need that can kind of show you the visual. Whether you're trying to convince a client to buy your product, we feel like you should have more than one Excel table to show them. Whether you're trying to analyze COVID-19 data, this is a way to probe that data so that your audience or whoever you're trying to do the presentation to can understand in a visual manner what you have done or what the data is really telling us, or what the trend is like in your data. I am thrilled because I have tons of data that needs analysis. If there is a few things that I have picked from this today, the first one that I picked is questioning our data. Oftentimes we generate tons of data and we don't question that data enough. We don't question the data enough to be able to utilize our data powerfully. So we want to admonish you and encourage you that your data is much more than just plotting it in one graph. Your data can really do much more. If you're a researcher, we think you can use your data for much more than you're using it for today. We hope that this dashboard is something you will use to wow your management, you'll use to wow your professors, you would use to wow your colleagues so they can see that you're much more than what you were on Friday, which is yesterday. Oh my God, I feel like this has been worth my 90 minutes so far. We are so thankful to you, Mariam. I am just thrilled.
We can actually go on and on with Slicer and the rest of it. But I think if you want to learn more about this Slicer and how to clean up this better, you should join next week. I'm going to do this first next week. I'll clean up this for next week, and before we go into regression analysis for next week. So I'm going to rush to
rush, I want to, if it's okay, guys, last week, some of you joined us last week, and some of you have joined us again this week, and some of you have been a long-time participant or have been a part of our program since the day one. I've added here, some of you are not on our mailing list. I understand that not everybody is on social media, and these days, social media kind of filter out the kind of information that you consume. A place you follow, they may post something and you may not see it because social media has filtered them out of your timeline. I've dropped the Google form to collect your email. So please click on the Google form, and we want to have you in our mailing list to be able to continue to send you the different exciting updates that we have. And I also want to drop for you a survey. If you have been one of the participants who have benefited from our program, we want to make sure we're serving you in the manner that you want to be served. We want you to know that your voices matter to us. We just don't want to put something here because we feel like Industry 4.0 is going to save the world. We want to know what you want to learn next. We want to know how the class went. We want to hear from you. I have also added the survey to the link. Please help fill out the survey. If you need, Mariam, I'm wondering if we can give people 1 or 2 minutes to kind of write how they feel in the survey and complete the Google form while we allow you to prepare for the what if session that is next. Stay tuned with us. We're not done yet, so don't leave us yet. We know it's not easy, but we understand that this is what we need. We need you to learn all of these things. We need, Mariam, you can be doing your preparation where I just share a few stories here. Guys, I hope you're feeling the links are there for you to kind of help us with your information on the Google form, and also the SurveyMonkey survey that we've put out. One thing that I want us to remember today is I want us to remember Wakanda forever. Yesterday, we lost an icon. We lost somebody who is dear to me, who is dear to all of us. I call myself the Princess Shuri of Africa, the Princess Shuri of Wakanda. And the person who brought this movie to life, who gave my unborn children and your children the thing they need to see, somebody who looks like them as a superhero. We lost him yesterday. We lost Chadwick Boseman yesterday. I cried because of a couple of things, because I lost my only sister to cervical cancer about 8 years ago. And he died yesterday at 43 from colon cancer. If you're listening to me today, you are either a person of color, or if you're not a person of color, you are a supporter of a person of color. And that's why you're here to support this program. I want to admonish you wherever you are around the world to understand that cancer is real. Please, I want to admonish you to take your health serious. I want you to remember that we don't have two lives. No matter how successful we are, if you don't take care of yourself, your chance of really making an impact is kind of cut short. So please, let's take care of ourselves. Let's take care of one another. Let's remember that self-care is one gift that we can give to ourselves. So I want to admonish you to ask yourself, when last did I do that whole body exam? When last did I go to the clinic when I'm not sick, just to check on myself, to make sure that I'm okay? And I want to please ask you to take 1 minute with me as we observe a moment of silence for our icon, the first Black superhero that we ever had, Chadwick Boseman. 1 minute of silence. Thank you. Thank you for doing that with us. We hope that his soul will rest in peace, and Wakanda forever. Thank you, and we may continue. Techavilly, we are ready.
Analysis.
I didn't see any Wakanda forever in the chat button. It looks like the audience are so professional. Guys, we want to hear how you feel. I watched Wakanda Forever and I was thrilled. I watched it like 20 times. It's not because I don't have a job, but because it meant the world to me to see Princess Shuri. And they used a lot of 3D printing in that movie. So it was just like the movie that showcased my life as an African with an accent, who is smart, who is innovative, and who is out there. And it made me really proud. And I hope that it did make you really proud. We hope that Wakanda will return, not as him, but as somebody else, but we'll never forget him. Thank you all, Wakanda forever.
I felt so bad too, because my children watched it over and over, and I told them this morning, and they were like, "Oh, why?" I said, "Well, we can't question God. He tried and he struggled for 4 years with the cancer, but it is what it is. We thank God for
I feel like we that we are alive, we have no excuse to not succeed. This guy in the middle of cancer was battling cancer and providing those amazing blockbusters for all of us. So I want to challenge you, no matter how this pivot table is, no matter how hard this what if statements are. I want you to know that somebody was sick and going through cancer and still gave us all of that. He gave us himself and much more. Let's give ourselves to what we're learning, and hopefully this get to be some tool, a kind of tool that you get to use in your career as you excel. Thank you.
Yeah. So we're going to go to what if analysis right now. And the question is, why do we need what if analysis in our businesses? And we know that this is a scenario analysis. Most times what people use what if analysis is for, to look at different scenarios, and this happens in the sales. You want to check, okay, I'm going to go to that. So for instance, you want to see if your analysis to build 2 budgets, what it looks like. You want to build 2 budgets for a particular situation or a particular promotion. And you say, I have $10 million and I have $5 million. If I have $5 million, how much will I make? What is the best case scenario? What is the medium case scenario? And what is the worst case scenario if I have to do this? And basically that's what if analysis is used for. And we're going to see all the different types. So we have the scenario analysis, just like I said, to check the best case scenario, to check the medium case scenario, and to see the worst case scenario. And then we have the goal seek. The use of the goal seek is to measure your formulas based on where you want to be. Like you want to sell 10 balls and you've sold 5. How many do you need to sell more to achieve that? Or you already sell 5, or let's say you want to sell 10 and you want to move that 10 to 20. What do you need to do to move it to 20? So that is what goal seek analysis is used for. You use goal seek you run from your results to how. You have the results. This is what I want to do. How do I get there? That is what this is used for. And for the data table, this is used to measure different also scenarios, but you use this, you see this in tables. Like you want to borrow some money from someone and the person says, I'm giving you a particular interest rate, and you want to use the data table analysis to see that how much am I going to be paying back every month? How do you calculate this? This is what most auto companies use if you want to rent or if you want to buy a car and you need you need car notes. They will use this to run the analysis to say if you're paying me in 20 months or if you're paying me in 25 months, this is what you're going to be paying every month with this particular interest rate. So what if I pay off this? How much am I? So on your own, you can actually use this data table to run analysis on your own. Like you want to do something, you want to borrow money, whatever, you want to run a business. If I do this, what if I do this? How much will I be paid, or how much will I make? That is what data table is used for. And I'm going to show you how that is used. So scenario analysis is a set of values that Excel saves and can substitute automatically, which is what I said. You use it to check different scenarios. You can create and save different groups of value on the worksheet. Then you can switch, say, okay, best case scenario, what is it going to be? Worst case scenario, what is it going to be? And medium case scenario, what is it going to be? And you can also use scenario analysis to change values, like just I mentioned right now. You can use it to check different options. So it could be best case, it could be medium case, and it could be worst case scenario. And the goal seek, like I said, you can use goal seek to determine the results you want from the formula you impute in it. For instance, if you want to know your company, how much your company should sell something or what they should sell in a particular quarter, and you have the target. You have your target. Okay, our target for this year is to sell 50 million. First quarter, we have sold 10 million. Second quarter, we have sold 20 million. Third quarter, we have sold 5 million. How much more do we need to sell to meet our target? That is what goal seek is used for. like I explained to you. And GoSeek only works with one variable input at a time. There are two types of methods you can use for GoSeek. You can either use the one input data table, or you can use two input data table. For one input data table, you just want to see, maybe I want to see the interest rate. I want to pay 5% interest rate. How much am I going to be paying if I borrow 10,000 from Dr. Adi for 24 months? So I want to borrow 10,000 and my interest rate is 5%. How much am I going to be paying for 24 months? It's going to populate the table for you. And for the two input data table, you will check the interest rate and also the amount you are borrowing. That if I'm borrowing this amount at this rate, how much am I going to be borrowing? And the good thing about the data table, okay, I'm talking about GoSeek. I already moved to data table. Sorry about, I'm moving too fast. So data table is used to run analysis with multiple formulas with one column, common value. Just like I said, you have your interest rate. You want to see for how many months we are going to be paying, and what if I change from 5% to 2%? How much am I going to be paying? If I change from 2% to 3%, how much am I going to be paying? So you can use this to see a range of possibilities at a time, just like I mentioned. You know, if I have this, how much am I going to be paying? If I have this, how much am I going to be paying? So it allows you to see different possibilities at a point in time. Right. So let's go and see how this works in Excel. So I'm going to close this and go back and reshare. So let me go to the Excel sheet. Oops. Sorry, I'm just gonna want to go to the Excel sheet. Okay. Wow, I'm lost now. Sorry, I'm trying to find my way. I think I am really very tired now. Dr. Adi, can you say something? I'm trying to.
I'm right here.
I'm trying to, I think I minimized the, I'm just trying to see. I'm trying to find the, it just disappeared on my screen. I can't find it. Okay.
Can you share it, or did you see, or do you want to re-download it, or?
Yeah, I can see, but I minimize, and can you see my screen? I have the.
No, we don't have anything on the screen anymore.
Yeah, I don't know why it went to. Please forgive me.
Okay.
I just wanted to go to the sheet. Zoom. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I have the sheets ready. It just disappeared from my. Let's see.
Take your time.
Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to. I can see you, but I'm just trying to.
What do you need? What didn't you see?
Yeah, I see it. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So I want to share my. I want to share my screen, and then it's not showing the Excel sheet for some reason.
Is it downloaded to your computer?
No, it's the same sheet we were working with before.
Oh, I still can see it.
You can't see?
I can't, but we can't see it on the screen right now. On that share screen, you have multiple options. So you're picking the right one that is for that Excel sheet.
The Excel sheet, the problem is that the Excel sheet is not even showing on the options to share. That's the problem. Yeah. It's saying something else. And
You want to re-download it to your
yeah,
desktop?
I see it. I see it now.
Okay.
Can you see it now?
Yes, it's there.
Okay. So we're gonna do the first one. We're gonna do the scenario analysis. So this is a company, they want to run a promotion and they have the venue they want to use. And this is the cost of the venue. And they have vehicles to run the promotion to move people around. And they have the sales promoters. And this is the cost. All these are costs. And then they have the expected quantity they want to sell during this promotion. And this is the price they're going to sell. So they want to know what is going to be their profit. So we're trying to see what is the worst case scenario, what is the medium case scenario, and what is the best case scenario. We're going to see how that works right now. So to do this, simply go to your Excel sheet. If you have this sheet, open it up and you go to Home tab. When you go to Home tab, go to Data. When you go to Data, towards the right side of your computer, you see What If Analysis. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so you select Scenario Manager. And a box is going to pop up. So we're going to add scenario to this. So the first scenario we want to create is the best case scenario. And we want to pick the changing cell. So the changing cell for this is going to be our expected sale. I'm going to take this off and we click OK. We want to change our expected sales. That's the changing cell. And then we're adding values now. Sorry, I'm gonna go right back. So let me know if you have any question, please.
So the plus sign is to add, change in cell, or?
Okay, I'm gonna go back so I don't. So this is the first case scenario that I was trying to create, right? Okay. So I'm trying to edit that now. The plus, I clicked on edit. So the changing cell is gonna be our expected sales.
Okay.
Right. We click OK. And then the values, I'm gonna put this 5,000. And then I add, this is another scenario. And I'm gonna put a medium case. Right. Expected sales is the changing cell. So I click OK. And I'm gonna put value. I put 4,000. I'm sorry. I was supposed to put 4,000. I put 400. So I click OK. So I edit that, right? I'll go back again so you are clear with all of this. Just kind of tired. Okay. So this is the worst case. Okay, so we have the three different scenarios now. So let's click on the best case scenario. Let's edit that. Okay. That's the changing cell. That is the cell that's going to change. We're supposed to change these values actually, right? But this is the expectations. Right. Okay, so for the, where are we now? Let's look at the scenarios. We're going to be changing this value one after the other, right? So let's go back to the best case scenario. The first thing we did was to create the scenarios, the best case scenarios, right? So we want to edit that, the changing cells. We selected that. So if these parameters change, what are we going to get? So you click OK. The first one is 5,000. That's the best case scenario. Good. The second one is 1,000, so which is this one right here. The third one is 1,2, which is this one. We're still looking at the first scenario. And the third one is 800, which is this. And that is the scenario for the best case scenario. That, okay, if everything worked fine, okay, this is what we want. If everything worked fine, how much are we going to make? Right. Then we click OK for that. Then we go to medium case scenario. And then we click edit. And then we go to changing cells. We click OK. So we're going to change the numbers. The first one is 5,000. We want to change it to 4,000 for the medium case. The second number is 1,2. We're going to change it to 1,000. The third one is 1,2. We're going to change that to 900. Okay, let's put 1,000 for that. The third one is 800. We're going to put 600. And then we click OK. So that's for the second, the medium case scenario. Let's go back to the best case scenario. I'm going to go back to all this so you understand it. So the first case, the best case scenario, let's look at that. You click on that, you edit, click on edit, go to the changing variables. Yeah, and then you click OK. So for the best case scenario, the first one, which is this one, C5, is 5,000. The second one is 1,2. The third one is 1,2 also. The last one is 800. So we are fine with that. We click OK. So the medium case scenario, we go to edit, we click OK. And then the first one is 4,000. Remember the best case scenario, it was 5,000. So we change this number to 4,000. The second one, we change it to 1,000. The third one, which is this one, we change it to 1,000 also. The last one, we change it to 600. So we are good with the medium case scenario. So the worst case scenario. So let's go to edit and then we click OK. So the worst case scenario, the first one we said, okay. The first one should be 1,000. No, let's change the changing variables. Edit this one. So this is going to be the changing variables for this, just like we did earlier. So we have all the numbers. Remember, we said the first one, which is venue, which is 5,000. So for the worst case scenario, we're going to change this to 3,000. Okay, so the next one is going to be 1,2. We change that to 800. The third one is 1,2. We're going to change that to 700. The numbers we are changing here are the amounts. So the last one is going to be 800. We change that to 500 because this is the worst case scenario. So what we are doing, we created 3 scenarios for the scenario analysis that if we want to run this promotion, we have the venue. For the best case scenario, if you spend 5,000 on the venue and we spend 1-2 on the vehicle. We spend 1-2 on refreshment and sales promoters. We spent 1-2 on sales promoters, and we spend 800 on refreshment. What are we going to get as profit? That is what we're trying to look for. So for the worst case scenario that we are looking, remember we're creating 3 different scenarios. Please let me know if you have questions. And we said the first case, if we spend 3,000 on the venue, this is the worst case scenario. If we spend 800 on the vehicle, if we spend 700 on sales promoters and spend 500 on refreshment, how much are we going to make? So we have the 3 scenarios now. The best case scenario, and which we have here. Like we said, 5,000, 1-2, and 1-2, and 800. So what we currently have is the best case scenario. And then we click OK. And then we go to worst case scenario, we go to edit. And the first one is 1,000. We change the 5,000 to 4,000 for the medium case scenario. We change the 1-2 to 1,000 for the medium case scenario. And we change the 1-2 to 1,000 for the medium, 1-2 here for sales promoters. And then we changed the refreshment to 600 for the medium case scenario. And we did the same thing for this one. And we changed the values, venue to 3,000, vehicle to 800, sales promoters to 700, and refreshment to 500. If we do this, what are we going to get? So let's look at the summary and the results. We want to see the expected profit, and then we want to expected sales. Okay, this is already formatted. So we want to see the expected profit, because once we calculate this times this, we will get the expected sales, of course. And what we want to sell is 20,000. That's our target to sell for this. And if you are spending all this money, how much are we going to make? And then we click OK. So it's creating our scenario. So we have the scenario right now. I'm going to increase the font of this so we can see this. So it created 3 different scenarios for us. So what happens here is that I didn't select the result. I was supposed to calculate the sales. So I'm going to go back and calculate the sales. Right. To generate the sales, it's actually going to, we need the number. I hope I didn't lose the raw data. I hope I didn't lose the raw data. Okay, so this is it. He just created another sheet for me. Right, so we're supposed to calculate the raw data here. To get the sales, is going to be this multiplied by this. So that's the sales. So to get the total cost, we're going to add this together, right? So, Dr. Adi?
I'm right here.
Question?
Please, how do you activate the 3 scenarios on the screen?
Okay, so the 3 scenarios that you saw here, right here, is what I was imputing. But I will go back and show you. So I needed to calculate the total cost. All these are the amount we are spending for the promotion, right? This company wants to run a promotion. They have this amount to spend for the promotion, and all this is the total. And we are saying, this is the, okay, let's say everything works fine. This is going to be, okay, let's use this as the medium case scenario now. If everything works fine. This is the total quantity of product they want to sell. They have this product they want to sell. They want to sell 2,000 units. And the price is $10 for one. So to get the total, you multiply 10 times 2,000 to get the total. You get that?
Yeah.
So to get the profit, you're going to deduct equals this the total sales minus the cost. This is the first thing we were supposed to do in actual fact. So this is the first thing we're supposed to do to get this ready. That if we sell 20,000, we're going to make 11,800 as profit, because this is what we spend. These are our expenses, and this is the sales. And if everything works fine, this is profit. So let's see different scenarios. That's when I went to, I'm going to take this off and redo the scenario. So let's go back to data, right? And then we go to what if analysis, we go to scenario manager. So we want to create the best case scenario. So you go to edit, click edit, changing variables, this one. These are going to change. So you click OK. So we're going to change this now. Let's look at best case scenario. Let's increase this. Best case scenario, we spend 6,000 on venue for the best case. We spend 1,005 on vehicles. We spend another 1,500 on sales promoters. And we spend 1,000 on promoters. Okay, that's our best case scenario. Let's go to the medium case scenario. Click edit, click OK. Then this should be our medium case scenario. And this will be 5,000 on the venue. This should be 1,200 on the vehicle. And this should be 1,200 again on the sales promoters. And the last one, refreshment, should be 800. So this is our medium case scenario. This is okay. What we have, the resources we currently have, this is it, right? So then the worst case scenario, we're going to edit again, the changing variables, this one, good. And then you click OK. And then we're going to change the first one. The worst case scenario is going to be 4,000. Let's say we spend $4,000 on the venue for the first one. We spend 1,000 on vehicles. We spend another 1,000 on sales promoters. And on refreshments, we spend $600. Okay, and we click OK. And then we are good. So we have the three scenarios. Should I continue from here or repeat it? Dr. Adi?
I think you can continue.
Okay, so then we click summary. Once we have identified the three different scenarios that we have, the best case, the medium, and the worst case, then we go to summary. And the changing cell, we want to see how much our expected profit is going to be. That's a changing cell. So we click OK. Let's see. Right, we have it correct now. Because we didn't format it earlier, so it didn't show the data very well. So once you populate that, this is what you're going to see. Remember the best case scenario, we said if we spend 6,000 on the venue and 1,500 on vehicle, 1,500 on promoters, and 1,000 on 1,000 on refreshment, the profit we're going to make is $10,000. And the second scenario says if we spend 5,000 on venue, 1,002 on vehicle, 1,200 on promoters, and 800 on refreshment, this is the result we're going to make. The third one says if we spend 4,000 on venue, 1,000 on promoters, 1,000 on vehicle, 600 on refreshment, this is what we are going to make. So this one, the scenario analysis give us different scenarios, right? So we have three different scenarios. So it's not going to help the company to say, okay, what is the best case scenario? If you spend this much money and we sell our product for 20,000, they're just going to remove the cost, the expenses from the cost. So that's how we got this. And then the second case scenario, they look at all the expenses and then they have this. They look at this. So it's going to help the company to think about what they want to spend, how they are going to reduce their expenses to maximize their profit. That is what scenario analysis does. And this is the scenario analysis. Do we understand this, or I go ahead?
Is it okay, guys, to continue? Or do you think the explanation needs to?
More explanation.
They said it's clear.
Very clear. Okay, so we move to the next one, which is the goal seek. Okay. Okay, so the next one is the goal seek analysis. So I'm going to use this example for the goal seek. Right. This company, I'll go ahead. You don't have this, but that's fine. This company sells 3 different products. They sell a yellow ball. I'm going to use ball. They sell yellow ball, blue ball, and red ball. And they sell yellow ball for 100. They sell blue ball for 100, yellow ball for 200, and red for 700. The total sales they are going to make is 1,000. Now, to use goal seek, you want to see how much. You want to see how much they are going to make if they increase this to 120. How much are they going to make? This is the simplest analysis in this what if analysis compared to the first one where you have to create a different scenario. This is just going to be easy. You can simply use your calculator to do this, but yeah, goal seek is a quick way to do this. I'll use this and also use the other example. So I'm trying to move this. It keeps blocking mine. So we go back to data, and then we go to what if analysis. So we pick goal seek. That's what we want to use now. So we have this 3 products that we want to sell. So the set sell is going to be this 1,000. And we want to, sorry, the set sell is going to be this 100. And we want to make it 100. Forgive me, please. This is what is going to change. That's the set cell. So want to change this value, want to change this 100 to 120. So the changing cell is going to be this one. And then if we click OK, so, okay. That cannot remove the amount instead of adding it. I'm going to rerun that. I'm going to rerun that. Go back to what if, goal seek. Change that value to 120. And the changing cell is going to be this one. Let's run that. This could be funny. And that's why you see some managers stay on one project for a long time. You know, they just need to keep working on it. If you don't format the cell, it's just going to give you error. And that's just the problem. You have to format the cell first. If not, you're going to get error. It's just going to keep giving error. Please give me 1 second. Okay. I'm going to rerun that. Forgive me, please. Dr. Adi, can you just give me 1 second?
All right.
Please, just give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Let me take a cup of water, please.
No problem. So, hi guys. I hope this is going well for you so far, and that you are picking some learnings that you can apply to your daily lives, your research, your presentations at work, analyzing your data. I hope you have helped complete the Google form. We would like to be able to send you emails about our subsequent programs. So if you haven't done so, please help complete the Google form. We also would like you to help us complete the survey. I have just dropped the survey link in the comment section again for anyone who hasn't been able to fill it out, to please help complete it. The Google form will be dropped in there in a second. Again, thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for spending your afternoons, evenings, wherever you are around the world with us. We hope that the sessions we're having is helping you. We would like to hear from you. We want your feedback on the sessions. We also want to hear from you if there are other things you would like us to teach that is not currently being included. We're very thrilled to also let you know that we will be including Power BI and other things related, such as SQL, as part of the trainings that we have in our Series 2. One of our partner companies in Toronto, they are very gracious with us. They have offered some of their software developers and data analysts to come and help teach these two topics. So they'll be taking us through digital marketing, Power BI, and SQL. So if you're interested in data analysis, we got you. We have a couple of very good sessions planned that are ahead of us. So please, every Saturday, just tell anyone who needs you that you're busy. We hope that we'll help you load up on those data analytics skills and other skills that you may need to kind of help you position properly. We believe in the power of technology, and that's why we're doing this. Just stay tuned, maybe with us. Christine, do you have anything to add on your side? Thank you for the kind words. We're very happy to ensure to bring this to you regularly. We believe in the power of Industry 4.0. We believe that the different technologies within the swim lanes of Industry 4.0 will revolutionize our time. We believe it will revolutionize not just our time, but beyond our time, our children will use this technology. So this is why we feel like minorities have to partake in those technological advancements, and we need these skill sets to be able to do that. How are we doing so far? We want to hear from you and what you think about our performance, what we can add to our program. And if you think there's nothing else to add, we also want to hear from you. I hope you're following us on social media. We have dropped our social media channels on the chat, and I'm going to try to drop them again. If you're on this program, if you're on Twitter, please tweet at us. We are taking probably a minute or two break. Use this opportunity to tweet at us. We want to look at what you've your dashboard. If you completed it, how did it look? If you are following this tech what if statement and what if analysis, please tweet at us. We want to see what you're working on. Take a picture of it. Tweet at Africa Acts and STEM Hub, so that we can kind of have a glimpse into what you're creating. I've had a couple of people write to me and say that this program is not supposed to be free. I think as people, it looks like we're not used to things that are good being free. But we also believe that not everybody can afford it. So Not everything has to be paid for. The best things in life, such as the air we breathe in, the life we have, the given to us freely. This is why we are doing this, to add to that. If God gave us all of those things for free, if nature provided all of its good food for us for free, maybe we human can learn a thing or two from nature in terms of good quality giving. Let's give a moment to our coach today. We have 30 more minutes to finalize the what if statements and analytics today, and we'll call it a night. Next week, we will be having data analytics too. So you have learned two things. We hope you learned two things today. And next week, we want to teach you a little more. Why is this important? We don't want to leave you with an half-baked portfolio that has a part of what you need. We want to make sure that you get everything fully. So, yeah. Welcome back. I was talking briefly about the next week's session. Can you give us a glimpse into what you'll be teaching us next week?
Okay, so next week, I'm going to start with the cleaning up of the slicer sheets that I was working with. So we'll come back with that to clean it up. If you join today, next week, you're going to see how we're going to clean up that sheet, because slicer takes a longer time. I never knew it's going to take me so long. Combining it with what if analysis, I would have separated and just focus on that, and then we do, but that's fine. That'll be the first thing we're going to do next week. But after that, I'm going to do regression analysis and optimization analysis. These are also models. We're going to use the Excel software to run them, just the way we're doing now. Sometimes you have to keep working on that model. It could just mess up. I can tell you that it could mess up. So you have to keep working on it just the way we are. So we're going to do regression analysis. Regression analysis is simply how to use the resources you have to maximize your profit. How do we, it's not based on guesswork. You cannot do guesswork with regression analysis, especially when you want to make a decision for your company. If your company relies on you for decision, you have to give them fact-based decisions. That is what regression analysis does. So I'm going to teach how to do that. And one thing is to be able to run the regression analysis. Another thing is to be able to interpret it. Because when you run the model, it's going to give you an output that you will not understand. I can tell you that. It's some random numbers that you can't understand. So I'm going to run the regression analysis based on the resources that we currently have. And then two, we're going to interpret it. That if you see this kind of result, what does it mean for the company? So you can now know if the result does not favor, you can now know whether you want to change it or you want to add to it, or you want to even rerun with a new set of data. So that's what regression analysis does. And optimization analysis is something very close to it, but that uses Solver tool. Solver tool is also an advanced Excel, is on Excel. So we're going to use the Solver tool to do that also. That's what we're going to do, the two things we do next week. But we're almost at the end of this one, so I can quickly show us the goal seek and we move. I want to show us the last one, the data table, the one that has to do with if you borrow money, how do you pay? And how do you know how much you're going to pay? That's.
We have 30 more minutes. Do we have enough time?
Yeah, we can do that.
Thank you.
So let me quickly run through this. So we're talking about you producing, you want to sell 100 balls, 100 blue balls, and you want to sell 200 yellow balls and 700 red balls. The total you want to sell is 1,000. Remember to always put formula. If you don't put formula, it's not going to give you the right answer. It's going to pop up, the kind of error that was popping up. So this company wants to take the sales to 1,200 at the end of the day. So they want to use goal seek to see what they need to do. But they want to make sure that they sell more of the blue balls. But they want to take the sales to 1,200. So we go to what if analysis, go to goal seek, and the changing cell is going to be the 1,000, and then the value we want to take it to is 120, and the last one, by changing, the set cell is 1,000, and then the changing cell is going to be this. If you click OK, it's going to work it. Okay, so it's given the same error, so we do it again. We go back and do it again. It could just work. It could just work like that. The set cell, and then the value we want to put is 1, 2. Okay, so we want to take the sales to 1,200, and then the changing cell, we want 100 to be the changing cell. Let's see. So we got it. So this is what happened. Did you see how it was run? I can quickly rerun it. So the company wants to take the sales to 1,002, right? And they currently sell blue ball for 100, yellow ball for 200, and red ball for 700. But they want to take the lowest ball, the lowest sales higher. So this is why, that is why they concentrated on the blue ball. So to do that, go to goal seek. What if analysis, pick goal seek. So your set cell is going to be the cell that you want to increase, the sales that you want to achieve. That's going to be your set cell. And then we want to take that sales from 1,000 to 1,200. And then the cell that we want to change is the blue ball, because we want to take it from 100 to whatever number that will make us achieve 1,200. I hope that is clear. Then you click enter, and then we have our answer. I hope that is solved. So do you understand how we did that? The company wants to take the sales to 1, 2 from 100, and then they went ahead to use the goal seek to find how much they will be selling more, and then it gave them the answer automatically. I'm going to take that one more time and go to the next one. So go to goal seek. The changing cell is 1,000. That is the amount we want to sell. And then we want to take it to 1,200. And then we want to find out how much we're going to be selling more. So you click on that and you click OK. So it takes it to 1,000. So we can see that. And then we can see that, okay, if we sell 300 balls, blue balls, we're going to get 1,200. So that's how to use goal seek. Let's quickly use this one too. Our current sale is 24,200. Okay, our expected sale, we want to sell 1,100, 110,000. Our current sale is 24,000. And we need to fill this, right now to know how much we're going to be selling. So we go back to goal seek, and our changing cell is going to be this one. We want to take that to the balance. Okay, so if we sell, this is the changing cell. Okay, we want to take that to 27,500 so that we can meet our target. And the changing cell is going to be this. So this is the expected sales, right? And this is the changing cell. So let's run that and see how. Okay, so that's the initial problem we were having before we came up with this second one. So, well, I hope we understand how this is done. That is goal seek. I'm going to go to the final one. Let's see. Okay, I'm not sure we give us that. Okay, but I'm going to create that very quickly. So you want to borrow money from me? I can't find that cell, but I'm just going to create it quickly. So you want to borrow money from me? You want to borrow $10,000 from me? And I tell you that I'm moving to data table right now. You want to borrow $10,000 from me? And I tell you, I cannot give you the money except you pay me 5%. So with 5%, you're going to pay me in 24 months. You want to know how much you'll be paying me every month. So interest rate is going to be 5%. And you want to pay me 24 months. want to pay me in 24 months, right? And then you want to borrow money for $10,000 from me. Right, so, and PNT. Yes, so this is it. So you want to borrow $10,000 from me. I told you pay me in 24 months and you're only going to pay me 5% interest rate. So how do you calculate how much that is? There's this tool, this function in Excel that is called PMT. So we're going to use PMT to calculate this. So we pull out equal sign and we pull out PMT. And the first one is the rate, which is 5%. You put a comma. And the month that you want to pay me, which is 24 months, and the amount you want to borrow, then you close the parentheses. Always it comes out in negative. So we're going to put negative sign in front of that to turn it to a positive. So it turns to positive. So if you want to know how much you'll be paying me, you pull out the equal sign, and then you multiply the amount you'll be paying me by the number of months you'll be paying me. So you're borrowing $10,000 from me and you're paying me $17. That's a lot. So if you want to know the interest you're going to be paying, you deduct the amount from, you deduct the total amount from the amount you're borrowing. So you're paying me $7,000. So how do you use the PMT to do this? How do you use the what if analysis to do this? So you go to data, go to what if analysis. You can see that what if analysis has 3 different types. The scenario, we talked about that created 3 different scenarios. We talked about the goal seek. You work your answer from the results. You want to achieve 1, 2, what do you need to sell? You use the goal seek to achieve that. And then we click the data table, right? So, but before we do this one, we need to create the table first. So we go ahead and pull out interest rate, right? And we want to look at different scenarios. The first one, we said 5,000, so we reduce it up. If we have 2.5%, let's say 2.5%, and you have 2%, and if I fill that down, all the way down to, okay. Let me take the percentage. If we have 2.5, I'm going to change it to general. Okay, so I have that. Then I have 0.002. Let me take the percentage away, general. Okay. If I fill that down.
Mariam, can we slow down a bit, please? Thank you.
Okay, so where do I go back from? Okay, let me go back from it. Do we understand how I got this? I said, you want to borrow money from me, and you want to borrow $10,000 from me, and you want to pay me in 24 months. But I said you're going to pay with 5% interest rate. So how do I know how much you'll be paying me every month? We go to the PMT. We want to calculate that. There's a function in Excel that uses PMT function. It's called PMT to calculate this. So we use PMT. All we just did, we pull out the equal sign, and then let me take that out and recalculate that. So we pull out the equal sign, and then we pull out the PMT. That's a function in Excel. So just click on it. It's going to open for you. So it already gives us the parameters to use. So the first one is the interest rate. So pick that. We've already written that earlier. Put a comma. The next one is the payment months. Put that. We already have that here, right here. Put a comma. The third one is the money you want to borrow from me, the amount. Pick that, and then you close the parentheses. You hit the enter key. Usually when you do that, PMT is going to come in a negative form. So you can now make it positive. Click on that format, which is what I did. Click on it and go to the format. In front of the amount, put negative in front. That is going to turn into a positive number, which is what I did right here. So you know now that because you want to borrow $10,000 from me and you want to pay me in 24 months, this is how much. So if you now say, okay, let me reduce the interest rate to like 3%, it's going to reduce the amount. As you see, the number changed. Or you can say you want to reduce the months that you want to pay. Let me pay for 12 months. The amount changed again. You're going to be paying 1,000 plus. So if we take it back to 5%, right, and we take it back to 24 months, right, so we're going to be paying $724 every month. What if I increase the amount to $20,000? I don't even want to borrow 10,000. This is what I want to borrow. So, and then I reduce the interest rate completely to 2%. How much am I going to be paying? So this formula helps you to understand different numbers at different scenarios. So I'm going to take this back to our initial amount and leave it at 10,000. So this is how much we're going to be paying. So if you know the total amount you're going to pay, all you need to do is to multiply, pull out the equal sign. So pick the amount you're going to be paying every month. This is the amount you're going to be paying every month for 24 months to pay me my $10,000. So you multiply that by the number of months, and then you click the enter button. So total money you're going to pay me in 24 months is $17,393.02. So if you want to know the interest you're going to pay me, so you're going to deduct the total, the amount you borrowed from the total money you're paying. So you pull out the equal sign. You pick the total money you're paying, you minus the amount you borrowed, and then you click the enter key. So you see the amount you're going to be paying me right there. So that's how it is done. So if you want to use the data table to calculate different scenario, you'll be seeing everything right there in the table. So that's what we want to do right now. So I'm just going to write the interest rate right here, and you come to another cell, interest rate right there, and then you write the different interests that you want to pay. So let's say 2.7, 3.0. So if I run that down to 5%, right? So I'm going to change that to percentage. Okay. So if I pick that this is in percentage, I'll go to, I like the control 1. I pick percentage, I take away the decimal, and then I click 0. Okay, so this should not be 500. So, okay, so there should be 0, 0 in front. That should not be it. But it's actually 2.75. Remember, we are looking at, okay, this is ahead. This is where I was going. This is where I was actually going. Okay. Okay. And I don't want to approximate. Let me put the 0. Yeah. Let me put the 0. Yeah. Yeah. So if I take the 0 away, it's just gonna. So what I'm doing is that I'm creating different scenarios. I'm just trying to reduce, you can see this is 5. I'm just trying to reduce the percentage. This is 5%, 5.0. Yeah, so I'm just taking it from different scenarios. And here I'm gonna put the amount. So I'm going to put the payment right here. This is the payment I want to pay. I'm going to be paying. So I put I put the enter key. So to explain this, I'm going to use this table to run the data table. What I did here, I picked the interest rate. This is at 2.5%, at 2.50%, and at 3%, 3.2%, 3.5%, like that, right? So at this, if I'm paying this every month at 2%, how much is it going to be? If I'm paying this amount at 3%, how much is it going to be? So I'm going to use this to run the what if analysis. Go back to data and what if analysis, data table. So the row cell is going to be, I'm not going to put anything in the row cell. I'm just going to pick the percentage, the current percentage that we have. No, I'm not putting anything. So this is the row cell. We're going to use the row cell and the column cell when we get to the two input data table. This one we're using is the one input data table. For data table what if analysis, there are two different approaches you can use. The first one is the one input data table, which is this one. We're using only one input. If you're using two input, you're going to use both the row and the column. So here we're only using the column here. We are not using the row here. So we're not putting anything in the row column. So for this box, we're going to pick the 5% and then we click OK. So what this did is that it just populated the amount for us. So I'm going to change this right now. Okay, so at 2%, this is what you're going to be paying. I'm going to put another percentage because it gave me a wrong, but the first one is actually very correct. So at 3%, yeah. Yeah, you can see it changing. Three hours is so long for me. I'm so tired. Okay, so I'm going to rerun this.
Sorry, we're almost done.
Yeah, I'm so tired. 3 hours at a stretch is quite long for me, but it's okay. So the interest rate that we want to pick, right, is 0.0025. So I don't know why this is not changing. I'm going to use another box. Let me just come down here. Interest rate. It's just the percentage that we want to change, so that it's not a problem. 0.03%, 0.035, 0.045, 0.05. So yeah. So what I did, I put the interest rate here, interest rate, right? And this is the one input data that I mentioned. So you're going to put the amount here, the current amount we are paying. That's what's going to be here. So to run this, I just reduce the number, 3%, 3.5%, 4.5, and 5% interest rate. So come to data, go to the active analysis data table, And like I said, we're not putting anything in the row section. In the column section, we're just going to put the 5% interest rate, and then we click OK. So correct, we got it. So, so we got it. I don't know if we understand what happened here. So sometimes analysis is crazy. So you just have to keep working on it. If you look at what we got here, remember we said for 5 years, for 5%, we're going to be paying 725 every month. And we said, if you reduce the amount, the interest rate we're going to be paying to 3%, how much are we going to be paying every month? That means the amount dropped. Remember, they reduced the interest rate, the amount dropped. So if you're paying 3.5% interest rate, you're going to be paying 623. If you're paying 4.5%, you're going to be paying 690. And if you're paying 5%, which is what we said, we want to pay here, as you can see, is the same amount. Right. So that's how to use what if analysis to do, to run your payments and all that. If you want to borrow money, if you want to buy a car also, if you want to buy a car and they say you pay for 24 months. Now, if we change this to 12 months, I already did this, the amount will change. If you take this back to 24 months, change the percentage to 4%, the amount is going to change, as you can see right here. If you change it to back to 5%, the amount will change. And if you change the amount you are borrowing, you don't want to borrow as much as that. You want to borrow like 5,000, the amount will change. But one thing I need you to pay attention to is this one and this one. They are the same because the amount we are running the analysis on is the same. So if you want to do the two, the two input analysis, we are going to do this. We have, I'm going to take the 0.03, no, 0.0035. I don't know what is wrong with this cell. Let me pick number. I think this cell is the one because it's already formatted. So I'm going to move away from that cell. Because when we moved away from the other one, we got the answer. So 0.003, 0.0035. What is wrong with you? Okay, let me move to another cell, if that will help. Okay. I can troubleshoot, but not now. We don't have time. That's why I'm just trying to. 3.5. It's the same thing. So I don't know what is wrong with this cell, but this is actually what I wanted to do. Can't figure out what is wrong with this cell. I'm going to take it back to general, I'll take it to numbers. Okay, this can help. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that if this is going to help. So right here, I'm just going to put the amount we want to pay, and I'll take it from 5,000. And I'm going to insert one cell here. right? So when you're doing this, make sure you leave a space here between the interest rate and the amount. For the two inputs, we're going to use the interest rate and the amount, and it's going to populate the table for us. So I'm taking it from 5,000, 55, and let me see if I run this down. Let me see. Correct. I think there's something wrong with that cell. Yeah, so this is what we have. And we have the amount to borrow here. What we are doing right now is to reduce the scenario that if I am borrowing 5,000 at 3%, what will I pay? If I am borrowing 5,000 at 4%, what will I pay? If I am borrowing 5,000 at 5%, how much am I going to pay? If I am borrowing 5,500 at 3%, how much am I going to pay? If I'm borrowing 5,500 at 4, just like that. So that is what data table what if analysis is going to do for you. So we're going to highlight this, right? And we go back to what if analysis. I can see some questions, but I don't want to get distracted, so I can't take questions. So we go back to data and what if analysis, data table. So like I said, we're going to use the two rows here. We're going to use the two rows. We're going to use the first one is the interest rate. So I'm going to go ahead and put the interest rate, which is 5% here. And the next one, I'm going to put the amount to borrow, which is 5,000 here. And I'm going to hit the enter key. Let's see what it populates for us. Okay, so it's showing us there's something wrong with that formula again. I'm going to do that again. When you're running models, especially when it comes to analysis, that's why you see these guys run crazy. Sometimes it just messes up. It messes up big time. So don't worry yourself. I'm trying to troubleshoot what went wrong. And I'm definitely, okay, right. Let's see, I'm taking this out, clearing that. I've run this several times and it worked perfectly. Sometimes it just happens like that. So go back to data and go to data table. So in the cell box, we're going to put the interest rate. Yeah. In the column, we're going to put the amount we are paying, this one. And we click OK. For some reason, it's not working. And it should work. Okay. We're going to run that again. We keep running it until we get it. Where did my sheet go to? Okay. Just be a little patient. That's what we go through. That is what we go through when we are working with data. Sometimes we want to break our computer. We just want to destroy it because yeah. So we do that again. And we come back, pick this.
Mariam, there is a comment here. Somebody was suggesting that if it's in months, Then the rate cell should be divided by the number of payment periods. By default, the duration is taken to be annual figures. I don't understand that.
I got what I got what he said. That's exactly what I want to do now. I understand. I believe it's going to work now. So this and this should be annual figure. That's it. It still doesn't work. Why? Because it should actually populate.
Shall we start from here next week?
How many minutes do we have more?
It's already 3:00.
My goodness.
Okay. I'm fine with us trying to figure it out, but if this needs time, maybe we can kind of figure it out during the week and we start from here.
Know that this is going to run like this for so long. I just underestimated, and I was like, okay.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. This is not a software. This is Excel. So my husband already told us that it's not Power BI or Tableau. So you guys will run into areas to troubleshoot. So
my goodness, Excel is crazy. You know, I've done this severally, and okay, so two points. That means next week we're going to start with the cleanup of this the dashboard with Slicer, and then we're going to do the data table.
okay.
You know? But we did the first series. We got the first one. I hope everybody understood the first one. The first input data table that, you know, if you
we
want
need
to
your
use
yeses or no, we need your yeses. I am fine with us spending another 15 minutes,
honestly,
but I also know that our brains are already saturated. I need to practice all of these things. And we got some people in the comment section saying we should reduce the session to 2 hours. I want to kind of give a lowdown as to how we run. We want to teach a topic per week. We understand that Excel analytics is too large. It can't be taught per week. So that's why we divided into two, that you have it over a 2-week period. We don't want to teach you half big stuff. Our aim is not to leave you with something that you can't go and use on your own. So the timeline is usually 2 to 3 hours for every presenter we have. We try to make sure that they bring hands-on practice with them. This can be a little cumbersome. If you are doing this in Udemy or other places, remember it takes 6 weeks. We are compressing 6 weeks program here. Please bear with us. Bring your dinner if you are in another time zone. Bring your lunch if you are in Canada or the US. This is an opportunity we don't want you to miss. I understand it's long, but we compress all the 6 weeks program that Udemy Coursera has into 3 hours to bring it to you in a valuable way that does not make you lose the meat in the old substance. So please bear with us. We hope that you'll do some troubleshooting on your own. Also, we are very thrilled that for the next 6 weeks, you'll be learning different things. We're also very thankful to Mariam, who has been supporting us from the start. Mariam, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. We will try to also share the video about the data analytics one, which was on Tableau and our studio. We'll try to share that on our YouTube channel so that you can go watch that if you need that piece. We're excited for what is coming next week. We are thankful that you spend your evening with us. Mariam, thank you for continuing to share with us for free. It is amazing how much I have learned from these tech master classes, especially on the data analytics side, for free and in such a short time. We appreciate you. For anyone who is on here who is not following us on social media, please follow us. We also tagged Mariam in all of these different sessions. Please follow Mariam's page so that you can have more understanding of the different postings she has up on business intelligence and data analytics related topic. She is the founder of Techavilly. They also have a few courses out there for anyone who feels like I want to learn something else or I want more of this area. Please go talk to her about those things if this is a career you have chosen. For if you're new to Canada or you are a student in Canada or you are someone who has lost job in Canada, please reach out to us. We want to help you. We want to make sure that we help you find your roots as you settle in. If you're just graduating from university, if you're a new immigrant, we want to make sure that we're helping you find the right decisions. If you're still trying to navigate, if you have recently lost job, we want to support you. We've been reached out to by a couple of companies who are looking for who are looking to us to provide them some people. We have also reached out to company and asking them that we need a minority quota. We need internship slots for minorities. And we want to make sure that any minority we will recommend, you have the right skill set. So reach out to us. We're hoping to open up our mentorship program soon. We have had 10 people from Fairmex. Fairmex is a tech company in Toronto. Also will be ready to be a part of our mentorship program to help mentor you. We're thankful for the opportunity to have our partners all around the globe and advocating for people to join this workshop from Nigeria to the US. We're thankful to our partners. Thank you, Mariam, for the opportunity to learn again from you. Guys, we'll continue next week. Enjoy the rest of your week, and please do not stop practicing. Spend some time going through what you learned today. Spend some time troubleshooting those things yourself as well. We appreciate you. We appreciate the time you've spent with us. This is goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your day. Before we go, okay.
Dr. Adi, I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. And one thing I want to tell everyone that attended this class is that data could be frustrating. Data analysis could be frustrating. And I know that Toyosi has told you severally that she feels like breaking her computer. This is what we go through. Sometimes something you are used to, something you do every time, you just want to run it. It just feels, I don't want to work. And I don't know if you've spoken with some data analysts that will tell you, I have been on this for months. I've been on this for weeks. It's not just adding up. This is what we go through. So I don't want you guys to be discouraged. Myself, when I am working with them, this is just, unlike Excel is not like other ones that, you know, is already there. It's like the software is already made and all that. But this one, sometimes it just refuses to work. So we're going to.
Okay. You're okay. As much as nothing good come easy, as hard as this is, I know I have never seen any data analyst that gets paid less than $100,000 per year. So everything you're learning from us, from SQL to Power BI to Excel Analytics to the other ones, Tableau, Power Studio, this is your $100,000 game, guys. It's not going to come easy. Let's get all those skills in our portfolio and go get those jobs. Like I said to you, we're not only going to help you get the skills, we want to help you get the job. So we want to make sure that you get the skills so that we can recommend you for those jobs, for those internships. We know it's not going to be easy. Don't worry. We're here to learn. We're going to put in the effort. And so long you're not tired of us, we're not tired to learn. Again, thank you everyone for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and please practice ahead of the Tech Masterclass Data Analytics, Excel Analytics Series 2. It will be the same time, the same platform next week, Saturday. Oh, thank you. Somebody from Nairobi, Kenya. Sasa. All right, guys, take care. I'll be here for anyone who have questions, but you can drop off whenever you want. I'm just gonna hang out here until the last person leaves.
And also, thank you so much on behalf of Africa Hacks of being here. I had to step in for Uchi. Uchi had to leave because he started a program this weekend. So thank you all so much. And we really do appreciate Mariam, Adeyemi, and STEM Hub Foundation for this tech skill masterclass. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Christine, how are you?
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Christian, if you can hand the call on your side, I think it's okay.
Perfect. Okay. No worries. Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.